This video is for the people that have siblings that do horrible things to the people they claim they love and care about, but they still fool around on their boyfriend or girlfriends or husband and wives and cheat and lie and steal money but they still claim that they love and care for them, right? But since they are your sibling and they've never done anything wrong to you, for some reason you don't think they will ever do it to you, this video is for you. I'm 55 years old and I have a sister that's 3.5 years younger than I, okay? Her and I have never had a fight in our lives, never had an argument, never raised our voice, definitely never disrespected each other with words, nothing, ever, 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 ever. But throughout our lives, I've always known my sister was a bad person. Just how she treated her boyfriends, her friends, talk about her friends, just lie on them, use them, just come to me telling me everything. I was just like, damn. But since she was my sibling and she never done me wrong, I thought she would never ever do that to me, ever. In early 2024, I moved in with my sister. I created a successful business, told her she could quit her job and become 50% partner. I created the business as making her 50% of the partner. But as the business went on, she decided she didn't want to put in 50% of the work that it took to get picked, but she still wanted 50% of the profits. I said no. Of course, I didn't agree with that because that would just be using me. And I honestly didn't think it was a big deal. I said, okay, we can revisit this. We'll just sign your name off of it and we could come back and revisit it later. She said, I'm not signing my name off of anything and you got to get out. You got to get out of the house and I need you out by tomorrow, or, they just talk crazy nonsense, right? Now, here is where my story begins, but you guys get an addition to it. You get to experience the overview of how God protects his chosen ones as trauma like this happens, okay? So, on December 19th, 2024, there's a knock at the door. 2 police officers show up at the door with a thick stack of paperwork, order of protection paperwork, talking about your sister's scared for her life. You have 30 minutes to get out of here, pack some things and get out. And you can't take none of the business stuff. All the business stuff stays until that gets worked out later, and you can take a few of your items. I'm in shock. I'm like, what? We've never had a fight in our lives. What could possibly be in that paperwork? You know what God said? Everything you thought your sister would never do to you, she wrote it herself in that paperwork. You're going to read it. You're going to read it and you're going to believe it, because I knew that is what it was going to take for you to believe that your sister would do that to you. So as I gathered a few things I can, and possibly in 30 minutes, I'm thinking to myself, I can't even make any money because I can't take none of my business equipment either. And then the police officer said, and this will be relevant later, the police officer says, it says here that you have guns. Hold up, she said, this is exactly what the officer said. She said, let me check that order, because usually when people are scared for their lives, they make sure the person doesn't take their guns. And she looked in the paperwork and she was shocked. She was like, no, it says he can take his guns. But remember, she's terrified of her life, okay? That's a key component. So as I leave and put my stuff in my truck, I said, where am I going to go? You know what God said? Go over to your friend's house. Him and his wife have a bedroom in their house waiting on you. Sure enough, called my friends up. Hey, man, I ain't got no place to go. He said, come on over, get over there. Guess what? It was all set up just like God said, just like that. And as I settle in and read all this paperwork filled with lies and just ridiculous nonsense, God said, all I want you to do is just write the truth. Don't counteract everything, all the lies and stuff that she said. Just go in there, tell the truth. You guys never had a fight. The judge will see through all the nonsense. It will not make sense at all, and the judge will dismiss it. Okay, she'll deny the protection order. 1 week later, on December 26, 2024, the protection order is denied. I said, now the next problem, how am I going to get all my personal belongings back and my business equipment so I can start making some money? She done changed all the locks, the alarm code, everything. Make sure she spends the night over her boyfriend's house every single night, so I can't even come there with a police escort and get anything. God said, don't worry about it. Now that the protection order is denied, it is as if it never existed. So what you're going to do is go rent a U-Haul van and a crowbar. You're going to break in through the garage door window and then break into the house. What about the alarm? Don't worry about that either. The police come. Listen, I hear the police coming while I'm in the house gathering my things. He said, don't worry about it. Police come and said, hey, what are you doing? I said, oh, I live here. Here's the denial of the paperwork too. They're like, see you later. There's no problem here. There's nothing illegal here. Then they left. You hear me? They left. And then they turned around and said, uh-oh, the homeowner called us. You know what? We're going to wait here. Just like God said, we're going to wait here. Just make sure she doesn't do anything crazy. They were there to protect me while I gathered all my things, every single thing I own, all my business equipment in the truck, out of there. No problem at all. Just like God said. My sister tried to destroy me. Do you hear me? Somebody that I have never done wrong in my life, she tried to literally make me homeless, broke, and destroy me. God knew. He knew, because he knew I loved her more than my mother. He knew it was going to take some serious, serious trauma to make me believe that my sister would ever do anything like that to me. He knew it. And I thank God every day for it.